भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवा। भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So today is very auspicious day, the day of appearance of Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ram appeared in Treta Yuga, and that was about 20 lakh or 2 million years ago from today. So for the last 2 million years, 20 lakh years, his glories has been chanted, sung, loved by his devotees, and this is the proof that he is a supreme personality of Godhead, that people are still chanting and singing and discussing his glories, his pastimes. And people get purified. Purified in the sense that the consciousness gets purified from Maya towards Ram, towards God. So this is the whole idea. That's why Ram, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came and they performed this beautiful, beautiful, amazing pastimes. I mean, to kill the demon is not the main purpose for Ram or Krishna to come and perform the pastimes. Killing the demons he can do by any of his energies. It's not a big deal. It's basically he comes to perform his sweet pastimes. So people can talk about him, remember him, glorify him, even 2 million years later, and they still can be purified, become his devotee. They have a chance to become his devotee. That's why he performs wonderful pastimes. Even before he appeared, I mean, he has to set the scene for his appearance. So Dasharatha Maharaj didn't have a son. He had many queens. 3 were the main queens. But from all his queens, he didn't have a son. And he was very sad. He had a daughter, Shanta, which was adopted by his friend Rompad. Rompad was the king of Anga. And somehow he really liked this daughter Shanta. So he asked Dashrath if she can grow up in his kingdom. And Dashrath, being a good friend of Rompad Maharaj, he said, okay. But this Rompad Maharaj, somehow he committed an offense against a Brahmin. And the Brahmin just cursed him that none of us Brahmins will ever step on the kingdom. And in Treta Yuga meant if they don't come on in the kingdom and they don't perform yagya mean then there's no rains. Treta Yuga, that was a process to do yagya, havan, big yagyas, sacrifice. So in the kingdom of Maharajanga, there was no rain, so there was drought. There was drought. There was, even the jungle animals, they didn't have anything to eat. Then they were coming in the cities. They were killing any people and eating them. So it was a terrible situation. So some rishis told Maharaj Rompa that if a pure, very pure Brahman steps on your land in the kingdom, immediately the rains will come. So you have to get that pure Brahman. And who was that? The Brahman's name was Rishashringa. And Rishashringa used to live with his father in an ashram. And that ashram was, his father was like, somehow it's again long story. He was against any female species. So this Rishashringa was brought up without even having seen any female species. Not even female animals in the ashram were allowed. Not even female trees were allowed in the ashram. Only male. So somehow they were supposed to bring him. So Rompad Maharaj was supposed to bring Rishashringa to his kingdom. And his father was like, this boy is not going to get out of the ashram, and blessed not to see any female. So somehow Rompad Maharaj tricked. He made lots of arrangements, lots of tricks, and somehow he brought Rishashringa to his kingdom on a boat. And as soon as Rishashringa got off the boat and stepped on the land of Angadesh, immediately the rains came. So now everybody was happy, but they were all scared that as soon as this boy's father finds out that we have somehow cheated him to come here, he will go he will go crazy and he might curse us. So Maharaj Rompad, what did he do? He asked Rishashringa to marry his daughter Shanta, his adopted daughter Shanta. So once he married her, and Rompad Maharaj I think he gave half the kingdom to Rishashringa. Then they were sure that his father will not curse him. So Dashath Maharaj, he was not having any kids, and Guru Vashisht told him that many generations ago, your forefathers, they were told by four Kumaras that Maharaj Dashath, in your line, he will not have any son till Rishashringa Rishi comes and performs the yajna. So Dashath Maharaj then goes to Rompad Maharaj and asks him to send his son-in-law to Ayodhya, and Rishashringa comes to Ayodhya, performs the yajna. A divine celestial person shows up with a pot of kheer. And so Dashath Maharaj gave one part to his eldest queen, Kaushalya, one part to Kaikeyi, and two parts to Sumitra. So that's how four kids were born: Ram from Kaushalya, Bharat from Kaikeyi, and Lakshman and Shatrughna from Sumitra. So all the kids, they were growing up, and all the four brothers, and actually, as Prabhupada mentioned in one of his purports, that, or it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shloka, that they were all expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they were all Vishnu Tattvas. So Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. So they were born as Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughna. So all these brothers, they had never had fight. They love each other. Only thing is, Lakshman had some special affection for Ram, and Shatrughna had a special affection for Bharat. But they were all growing up together, no problem, no issues at all. Till when Ram was 16 years old and Vishwamitra Muni came, and he asked Dashath Maharaj to give him Ram. First he took the promise, and then he asked for Ram. Dashath Maharaj asked, why do you want to take Ram? What is the purpose? And Vishwamitra said, Muni said, that I perform yagyas, and so many demons, they come and they spoil my yagya. And I cannot leave the yagya unattended, because otherwise it will get spoiled, and that's why I can't kill them. So I want Ram to come and kill them, kill these demons, and protect my yagya. And as a king, you have a duty to protect the yagyas of the Brahmins. Dashath Maharaj was very reluctant to let Ram go like this. And when he had heard that who are these demons, and Vishwamitra Muni said it's Talka and Maricha and Subahu, and actually it is Ravan who's sending them. And Dashrath Maharaj, he was shocked to hear the name Ravan. Ravan means he was very, very powerful demon, Rakshas. He had practically conquered all over the whole universe, everybody, even demigods were afraid of him. So his and his army's main purpose was to spoil any kind of yajna and to kill people, eat their flesh, drink their blood. And these Rakshasas, they would really love the flesh and blood of sages because they knew sages, they always eat prasadam, special food, and so that's why their flesh was very soft and blood was very tasty for the Rakshasas. Even they would admit that the person should live on prasadam and then he becomes very pure. So, so Dashrath Maharaj was very much afraid, but he could not say no to Vishwamitra Muni either. So Vishwamitra Muni took Ram, and Lakshman came along with. He said, "I cannot live with Ram without Ram." So Lakshman and Ram, they both went with Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni taught them lots of mantras, lots of how to shoot some weapons, special arrows. He gave them to Ram. And the day when he was doing yajna, then Subahu and Maricha and Talka, they came. They were trying to disrupt the yajna, but Ram, he shot so many arrows and he killed Talka, he killed Subahu, and one arrow he shot at Maricha went 100 miles flying into the ocean and he fell down in the ocean. So this is how Ram protected the yajna. And after the yajna, Vishwamitra Muni took them to Mithila, where Sita was, there was a swayamvar of Sita being arranged by Janak Maharaj. And on the way, they stopped by the ashram of Gautam Rishi, where Ahilya was living like a rock for so many ages. There's a special story of Ahilya she was very, very beautiful and very, very chaste wife of Gautam Rishi. But once Indra saw the beauty of Ahilya, and Indra, being in the mode of passion, he got attracted by Ahilya. So he wanted to enjoy her, but he was afraid of the wrath of Gautam Rishi. So once Gautam Rishi was out to take bath, so Indra came to the hermitage of Gautam Rishi, and he took the form of Gautam Rishi, and he went inside. And he saw Ahilya, Ahilya saw him, and somehow he enticed her to have relationship with him. Of course, Ahilya found out that this is not Gautam Rishi, but she was still attracted by Indra, that she did not protest. So Indra, after having the relationship, he was going out, and then he saw Gautam Rishi was coming back from taking bath. And then Indra just went out. But the problem was Indra still looked like Gautam Rishi when he was going out. So Gautam Rishi saw another Gautam Rishi walking by. And he did his meditation and he figured out what happened. So then he cursed Indra that you should have 1,000 female parts on all over your body. Your body should be full of female private parts. So Indra then fell down at his feet that, oh, I'm the king of all the demigods with all these parts all over my body. What will they think? I'll be laughing stock of the whole heaven. Please forgive me, please excuse me. So Gautam Rishi said, okay, I cannot take back my curse, but I can change it. So instead of female body parts all over body, you'll have eyes all over your body. So that's why Indra has 1,000 eyes all over his body. So that's why he's called Sahasranetra. His another name is that. And Gautam Rishi came inside his hermitage, and Ahilya was there. So Gautam Rishi cursed her to become a stone, to become a rock. So she cannot have any sensual enjoyment anymore. So Ahilya fell down at his feet, asked for forgiveness. So Gautam Rishi said, in Treta Yuga, when Lord Ram comes, he will come by this hermitage. And when he puts his lotus feet on you as a rock, you will come back as Ahilya. You'll become Ahilya again. So in one of the purports of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned that actually the cycle of time, cycle of yugas was Satyuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Because Dwapar means two, Treta means three. So in the cycle, two should come before three, not after three. But in this particular four yuga cycle that which we are in, it became Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. Why? Because this story, incident of Gautam Rishi and Ahilya happened in Satyuga. And when he said in Treta Yuga, when Lord Ram comes, he will put his foot on you, and then you will become woman again. So Ahilya again asked for forgiveness and asked for that. Treta Yuga is still too far away. In between, we got Dwapar Yuga. So whole Dwapar Yuga, I have to sit here like a rock. Please do something. So Gautam Rishi was so powerful. By his tapoval, he could change the sequence of yugas. So instead of Dwapar Yuga, after Satyuga became Treta Yuga. So he could change. So Ahilya could get delivered faster. But he could not take back his curse. So anyway, Lord Ram, then they went to Mithila along with Lakshman and Vishwamitra Muni. Then there was the bow that was kept, bow of Lord Shiva. And that bow was so heavy, so huge, that it would take 300 fully grown, trained soldiers to even move that bow even 1 inch. It was so big and so heavy. But once, when Sita ji was little girl, like 7, 8 years old, once a minister saw that Sita ji, while playing in that room where the bow was kept, she just, with her one hand, left hand, she very effortlessly, she just grabbed the bow, lifted it, and kept it somewhere else because it was in the way of her play. And the minister was surprised. Who is this girl? This cannot be an ordinary girl. It has to be goddess of fortune. So then he told Janak Maharaj that this is not an ordinary girl. So only Lord Vishnu can marry her. So that's why this whole arrangement was made. And the bow was kept. Lord Shiva's bow was kept. So that the condition was anybody who will string that bow can marry my daughter. So before Lord Ram, so many kings, so many princes had come, but nobody could even lift that bow, forget about stringing it. So when Lord Ram came, he first paid obeisances to Vishwamitra Muni, then he came, paid obeisances to the bow, circumambulated the bow with full respect. And then with his left hand, he just grabbed the bow and lifted it up. And everybody was shocked. Of course, Sita and Janak Maharaj, they were happy that finally Ram lifted the bow, so somebody is there to marry her. And once he lifted the bow, and then he took the string and he was stringing it, stringing. He was pulling, and the bow was bending, and it became half circle. That's how much he was bent. and how much the bow was bent. And again, Ram kept up pulling the string, making it tighter and tighter. And all of a sudden, the bow just smashed, it broke into pieces. And there was such a tumultuous sound when it broke that the sound basically crashed all over the universe. Everybody was wondering, where is this sound coming from? They didn't know that the bow was broken. So anyway, Lord Shiva's bow was broken, the condition was met, and Lord Ram married Sita. News was sent to Dashath Maharaj, and he came with Bharat and Shatrughna and other ministers. So King Janak had another daughter, and his brother had two more daughters. So anyway, all the four brothers, they got married to four girls from Janak Maharaj's family. And they all came back. And then the day came when Dashath Maharaj wanted to coronate Lord Ram as a prince regent. Prince regent means after the king, he will be the next king. But Mantra and Kaikeyi, Mantra had some other ideas. She induced Kaikeyi to ask for two boons. And actually, it was the demigods who didn't want Ram to become the king of Ayodhya. They wanted him to go to the forest and kill all those Rakshasas. So they kind of changed the mentality of Mantra. And Mantra talked to Kaikeyi, and Kaikeyi asked for two boons, that kingdom for Bharat and forest for Ram for 14 years. So on the day of his coronation, he went to the forest. And that too, the condition was that Ram will live in the forest, not in any city or in any palace, and he would wear only clothes made of tree bark, and he would eat only roots and fruits and herbs. No cooked food for him. It was very strict or strong condition. But Lord Ram happily accepted that. He never protested, and had never lost his respect towards his father or mother Kaikeyi also. Because when he came back from his forest exile, the first person he went to meet was Mother Kaikeyi, not even his own mother Kaushalya. So anyway, Sita was not supposed to go to forest, but Sita begged Ram that my father told me to be with you in all circumstances. So I cannot leave you. I have to come with you. And with Lakshman, there was no discussion possible. Lakshman said, I'm coming with you, and that's end of discussion. So anyway, three of them, they started for the forest. All the Ayodhya Vasis were following them, following the chariot that Ram was in. So they all slept at the banks of river Sarju. And early morning, Ram got up with Lakshman and Sita, and he told the minister Sumantra to take us across Ganges or Saryu and return. So when they went across, afterwards, when Ayodhya Vasis all got up, they just didn't see Ram, and they were so bewildered. Where did he go? But they had no idea where he went, so they all came back. So Ram first went to the kingdom of Guha Maharaj. Guha Maharaj told him, you can stay here for 14 years. But Ram said, no, the condition is we are supposed to go to forest, so we'll go to the forest. So one night he stayed there, and then he went to what is today's Prayagraj, Bharadwaj Rishi's ashram. So he went to Bharadwaj Rishi's ashram, and from there he wanted to go further because he knew that people from Ayodhya will find out he is here, so they will keep on coming and bothering him. So Ram went further. He asked Bharadwaj Rishi. Bharadwaj Rishi said, there's a beautiful place called Chitrakoot, which is not very far from here. So you can go there and you can stay there. Meanwhile, Bharat came back and he heard the whole story. He didn't like it at all, and he was Bharat was ready to kill Kaikeyi and Shatrughna was ready to kill Manthara, but then they both thought that this is against the Kshatriya code to kill a woman. So they didn't do that. But so the time was there because Dashrath Maharaj had left his party. So Vashisht Muni and other sages, they came to Bharat that you have to sit on the throne because some king has to be there, take care of the take care of the kingdom. But Bharat said Ram is the king of Ayodhya. He is the only one who's going to rule. So he made the plan that all of us, including the armies and everybody, will go to Ram and we'll beg him to come back and take over the kingdom. So Bharat went to Chitrakoot, of course, with his army. But when Lakshman saw from a distance the flag of the chariot of Bharat, Lakshman was very angry. He thought that maybe Bharat is coming here to kill us all. So there's no other obstacle in his kingdom. So Bharat came, he fell down at the lotus feet of Ram, he begged Ram, please come back. And there was this beautiful conversation that happened at that time between Bharat and Ram. And Lord Ram was fixed, determined that no, my father made this vow, made this condition for 14 years of exile for me, so I'll fulfill that condition. So Bharat finally he had brought wooden slippers for Ram. So he asked Ram to put on those slippers and then get off, and so give me those slippers. So then Bharat also made a promise that you are actually the king, Ram, you are the king. So in your absence, your slippers, wooden slippers, will be the king, and I will act as a servant of these slippers, and I'll do the administration as a service, not as a real king or president or whatever. And then Bharat said that since my king or Ram, he'll be living in a forest, so Bharat said, I'll also live in a forest. I will not go back to Ayodhya. And he said, my Lord will live in a hut. I'll also live in a hut. Since my Lord will sleep on the floor, I will also sleep on the floor. My Lord will wear tree bark and have matted hair. He said, I will also do the same. He said, my Lord will eat only fruits and roots and herbs. I'll also eat that. And moreover, I'll eat only barley cooked in cow's urine. That's all I will eat. So that was Bharat's sacrifice for Ram, for the service of Ram, for the pleasure of Ram. So this whole story of Ramayana is actually full of ideal, noble characters that we can draw so much of inspiration from. That just by sacrifice or by giving up one's position for the service of Ram, one is not a loser, not at all a loser. So anyway, Ram then started further from Chitrakoot because he thought if I stay in Chitrakoot, then all these people from Ayodhya will keep on coming and they'll be disturbing the peace of this ashram. And moreover, the main reason was because he knew the demons will be, the Rakshasas will be in the Dandakaranya forest, and he wanted to kill them. So he went further with Sita and Lakshman, and on the way to Janasthan, they killed so many demons, so many Rakshasas. So at Janasthan, Shupnakha came. Shupnakha used to just roam around in that area, in that forest. But she was a sister of Raman and she had so many yogic siddhis that she could change her form, original form, into anything beautiful or anything um, Any lady was very thin and very beautiful, very gorgeous lady. She could change the form to. So she saw Ram and Lakshman and Sita in the ashram, and then she came to Ram asking him to marry her. And she was like, I'm really attracted by you, and you should marry me. You look like a king, and kings cannot refuse this request from any lady. Ram said, well, I have my wife Sita, and I have taken this vow of only one Patni Vrata, that I'll have only one wife. But here is my brother Lakshman, he hasn't taken any such vow. And he is alone, his wife is in Ayodhya anyway. So why don't you go and seek his association, his relationship, and then you can marry him and then you can live peacefully. So Shupnakha went to Lakshman, and Lakshman said, see, you're such a beautiful lady. I think you deserve the best. I am just a servant of Ram and Sita, and if you become my wife, you'll also hold throughout your life. You'll be serving Sita and Ram. You'll not become a queen. So why don't you go back to Ram and try to tell him to marry you? So Shubnaka went few times between two brothers, and then finally she realized that Sita is the main cause of all the problems. This is what demons do. They always put the problem that cause is by somebody else. So she grabbed Sita and she said, I'll kill you, and once you're dead, then Ram will be mine and there will be no problem at all. So when she grabbed Sita, Ram just yelled, Lakshman, Lakshman, save Sita. So Lakshman took out his sword and cut off the ears, the nose, and the breasts of Shupnaka. Shupnaka was in so much pain, she left Sita and ran away from there to her brother's palace, Ravan's palace. Oh, before Ravan, she went to her brother's Khar and Dushan. They used to live nearby. Khar and Dushan came with like 14,000 Rakshasas to attack and kill Ram. But Ram, in few seconds, he just killed them all. He shot so many arrows, he killed them all. And Shubnaka, when she saw this, she really ran from there to Sri Lanka, telling Raj. And when she went to Sri Lanka, Ravan asked her, what happened to you? Why is your nose cut? Why are your ears cut? Why you're bleeding all over? And Shubnaka here also, she doesn't tell the truth. She lies that, oh, I'm okay. Oh, no. Um, she lied that I went to this hermitage and I saw this beautiful lady, Sita, and I thought of getting her for you, O Ravan. But Ram and Lakshman, they did this to me. And then she described the beauty of Sita in such a way that Ravan was completely enamored by the beauty. So anyway, then Ravan made the plan of sending Marich as a golden deer, and Marich took Ram deep in the forest. And then when he was shot by Ram, he spoke out in the voice of Ram that, oh Lakshman, oh Sita, please save me. So Lakshman drew this fire of, the circle of fire around Sita, and then he went looking for Ram, and Ravan came, and in the form of a sadhu, he somehow kidnapped Sita. He was taking her to his capital, Sri Lanka. And then Jatayu was an old bird, and he was friend of Dashrath Maharaj actually. And he was there, and he told Ravan that you cannot take Sita away. I'll protect her. I'll kill you. Although Sita told Jatayu that you stay away from Ravan. You just give the message to Ram that Ravan has kidnapped me, but you don't fight with Ravan because you're old, you're weak. Ravan is very powerful. He will kill you. You'll get killed. Don't try to fight with Ravan. But Jatayu, he said, no, this is my duty to protect you, even if I die. So Jatayu and Ravan, they had a big fight, big, for a long time. They fought, and Jatayu, with his claws and beaks, he was just gouging out flesh of Ravan, and he killed all the asses of the chariot. But finally, Ravan saw Jatayu was getting weak and he was getting tired, so he took out his sword and cut off all the wings of Jatayu. Jatayu fell down. So Ram and Lakshman, they came, they were looking for Sita and they were running around. Ram was crying, lamenting. He was asking the trees, he was asking the animals, he was asking the birds, have you seen my Sita? Have you seen my Sita? And they were roaming around in the forest, crying. They came to the place where Jatayu was lying down in the pool of blood. So Ram asked him. First, Ram thought that Jatayu must have killed Sita and eaten up Sita. That must be the blood of Sita. But when he came closer, he heard Jatayu was saying, Ram, 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 Ram. And Ram came and he asked. So Jatayu told him, I tried to stop Ravan from taking Sita away, but I couldn't. So there are many instructions from this that although Jatayu was old and he was weak compared to Ravan, and although Sita also told him, don't try to fight Ravan, just leave him, just leave me, because you will get killed. Still, Jatayu tried to stop Ravan from taking Sita away. So, materially, if we look at, so Jatayu was a failure in his service because he could not stop Ravan. He failed. And also, Jatayu had every reason for not doing the service because Sita herself told him, don't do this. You don't need to do this. But Jatayu, as a pure servant of Ram, he wanted to do the service without any expectation of any reward or anything. Even though he failed in his service, he could not stop Ravan from taking Sita. But actually, he succeeded. He succeeded in pleasing Ram. He succeeded in pleasing Sita. That he tried, and he tried with his full might, didn't he? Just half-heartedly tried. And he got killed. He was lying in the pool of blood when Ram came. And looking at the lotus face of Ram, he left his body. And Ram, being so obliged by the service of Jatayu, that with his own hands he performed the last rites of Jatayu. He was so obliged, so grateful to Jatayu, that with his own hands he performed the last rites, like his father. So anyway, after last rites, he was again going around lamenting, asking, where is Sita? Where is Sita? And Shivji was watching this whole thing from Kailash, and he started to laugh. And Sati was nearby. Sati asked him, what are you laughing? What's happening? Why you're laughing? And Shivji said, oh, look at my Lord. He's just acting like an ordinary human being, and his wife is stolen and he's crying. This is so beautiful, this whole pastime. Sati said, well, it looks like just an ordinary human being who lost his wife and is crying because he's so much attached to his wife and is lamenting. Where is your Lord in this? Shivji said, oh no, you won't understand this. But Sati said, no, I have to try to find out. So Sati went to the forest and she took the form of Sita and she sat under a tree. And Ram came towards that tree. Ram saw Sati as Sita sitting under the tree. And Ram, when he came nearby, he paid obeisances to Sati. And he said, "O Devi, O Sati, what are you doing alone in the forest? Where is Shivji?" And Sati was completely taken aback. How does Ram know I'm not Sita, I'm Sati? So Sati paid obeisances to Ram and came back. And Shivji asked her, what happened? Did you find out who's he? So Sati said, no, I went there. I thought you're right, so I came back. So Shivji said, no, it can't be true. So Shivji went into meditation and he saw the whole thing. And then he said, see, my Lord called you mother, so I cannot accept you as my wife now. You'll be like mother. And that was one of the reasons Sati had to leave that body and again take the birth in the form of Parvati. So Sati could not keep that body because Shivji would not approach her as his wife. So anyway, Ram went further. He met Hanumanji. He liberated Shabri. He took the Prashadam of Shabri. Shabri, another story, another ideal character of Ramayana. She was an old aboriginal lady who used to live in her guru's ashram, Matang Muni. Many years ago, Matang Muni, with his disciples, he was going back to Vaikuntha. So Shabri approached him, "Oh, Guruji, please take me along." And Matang Muni said, "No, you stay here and you take care of this ashram because Lord Ram is going to come here and you should serve him for Prashadam. And after you serve him, you'll come back to Vaikuntha." She said, "Okay." So every single day, without fail, she would get up early, she would clean the whole ashram, gather fresh fruits from the forest, and then wait for Ram to come. Now that is confidence, and that is determination and enthusiasm, everything together. Confidence in the words of her guru and determination. With determination, she was serving. She was waiting and waiting and waiting for Ram to come. And no association, nobody else in the ashram. She was the only person. That is really ideal character. And when the day when Ram came, finally, Shabri was old. She still wanted to serve Ram. So she had collected these forest berries. So thinking that why some of the berries must be sour, so she was tasting all the berries there. And she was giving Ram only the berries that were sweet and throwing away all the sour ones. And Ram was happily accepting all the berries from her. He was happily accepting and lovingly eating those. So after Shabri, they went to uh, this place, Pampa Sarovar, where Pampa Sarovar is. And I met Hanumanji, Sugriv, so many wonderful pastimes happened. And then finally they made the teams, and Hanumanji was leading the team that was going towards south side. So somehow he went to Lanka and he found Sita. And then all these servants, they wanted to do extra service for Ram. They were not like, okay, I was told to just give this message to Sita and give her the ring to tell her that I am the right person and then come back. He could have come back, but he wanted to do extra service. And with that extra service, he killed killed Akshay Kumar, the son of Ravan, and he completely destroyed this Ashoka Grove forest. And then Indrajit came and got him with the Brahmastra. Of course, Hanumanji had the power to release himself from Brahmastra, but he didn't. So, so he came to the assembly of Ravan, and we know the story how he was insulted and his tail was put on fire, and Hanumanji just jumped around the whole Lanka and he just burnt everything down to ashes. And when he went to put out the fire, he realized he didn't feel any heat or any pain because of fire. And he understood it must be because of Mother Sita, because Sita was praying to Agnidev for, for the protection of Hanumanji. So anyway, Hanumanji came back and Ravan called Vishwakarma and ordered him to make the whole city of gold again in one night. So that was the biggest civil engineer we had. Then Ram came to the ocean and he built the bridge with all the monkeys they were throwing. Hanumanji was bringing like big rocks, bigger peaks of mountain to make the bridge. So the whole army they made 800-mile long and 80 miles wide bridge on the ocean without any support, without any columns. And within few days, it wasn't even like months, it was just few days, they just made the whole bridge. So Ram came on this side of Lanka and on this side, and he made the camp. Vibhishan was still trying to tell Ravan to give back Sita and this. And give back Sita, Ram will go back. He was not going to hurt you. Unnecessarily, he's not going to pick a fight with you. He'll go back. You enjoy. You have so many queens, wonderful opulences you have. You just keep on enjoying. Just give back Sita. But Ravan wouldn't listen. So he even told Vibhishan to get out of his kingdom. So Vibhishan came to the camp of Ram. And Vibhishan, as soon as he just offered obeisances to Ram called him, "Ao Lankesh, oh Lankesh, please come in." Means he already made him the king of Lanka. So the fight started. All the Rakshasas, they had so many sophisticated weapons. But the monkey army, monkeys had either their claws or their teeth or whatever rock or whatever tree they could get their hands on. And they just throw those things at all the Rakshasas. And Rakshasas would be fighting with the bow and arrow and the spears and whatever weapons they had. So monkeys were no match for this Rakshasas. But it was the power of Ram that was making them victorious. And in fact, any monkey who would die, somehow Ram would bring him back to life. So anyway, slowly, all the generals, Indrajit, Kumbhakarna, everybody died. And it was final battle between Ram and Ravan. So a night before the final battle, Ravan went to Kailash and he asked Shivji that you had promised me that you will save my life. And tomorrow is my final battle with Ram, so why don't you come and fight on my behalf against Ram and save me, protect me? Shivji said, "Well, I promised to protect you, but I never said I'll fight against Ram for you." So Ravan was surprised. He said, "How am I going to be saved?" Shivji said, "There's only one thing. Just take Sita back to Ram and you take shelter of Ram and you will be protected. Otherwise, nobody can protect you now." So just like Prabhupada used to say in Bengali, there's a proverb, Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke or Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. So if Ram wants to kill you, Shivji said, even I cannot protect you. So anyway, next day, again, the battle started between Ram and Ravan. The fight was going on. Everybody was watching. All the monkeys were watching. All the arrows going back and forth between Ram and Ravan. So finally, Ram started cutting off the heads of Ravan. But Ravan had a boon from Brahmaji that anytime his head is cut off, a new head will sprung up right there. So Ram kept on cutting his heads, and the new heads keep on coming back. So Vibhishan was standing there. Vibhishan asked Ram, "Oh my lord, you know his life source is not in his head, it's in his heart." Ram said, "I know, but the problem is he is thinking of Sita. And thinking of Sita means Sita is sitting in his heart. And in Sita's heart, I am there. And in my heart, all my devotees are sitting there. So if I now shoot at an arrow at his chest, it will hit Sita, and through Sita it will hit me, and through me it will hit all my devotees. So I cannot do that." So he kept on cutting the heads of Ravan, and after a while, Ravan got bewildered because he was losing his heads, and literally he was losing his head. Means he could not compose himself properly. So he stopped thinking of Sita. He was now thinking of himself, how to protect myself. So as soon as he stopped thinking of Sita, Ram shot the arrow Aditya Hriday at his heart. And as soon as the arrow hit his heart, he died. He fell down on the ground and he died. So anyway, it's time now. It's already 1 hour. So there are so many more beautiful pastimes of Ram and Ramayana. You can read, but I think we'll stop here. See anybody have any questions or comments? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. Beautiful katha.
Thank you, Mata. So I guess we'll stop here. You all have wonderful Ramnavami. Enjoy your day today.